Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to rise for the prayer and our national anthem tonight. Tonight we welcome Faith Community United Methodist Church. Please keep their youth mission team going to Greenville, South Carolina from July 23rd through July 28th in your thoughts and prayers. Faith Community United Methodist also has a Shoe for the Shoeless event coming up on August 5th. If you know anyone in need of a pair of shoes, please stop by the church on August 5th. Tonight we have Pastor Barb Schneckner doing our prayer. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing to the playing of our national anthem, performed by John Shear.
Won't you join me? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed was Christ gleaming through God's light? Ours through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bomb bursting in air, gave proof through the night that was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? A land of the free and the home of the brave.
From Grady's Field in Xenia, Ohio, it is game number 29 as your Xenia Scouts take on the Lima Locos. Glad to have you aboard with us here tonight, folks. I am Andrew Alex, alongside my broadcast partner, Gabe Genovesi. You will hear from Gabe in just a minute. The Scouts coming off a doubleheader yesterday with the Cincinnati Steam. It was a yin and yang kind of effect in the doubleheader. The Scouts dropped the first of the games by a score of 11-0. But in the second game, the Scouts came back strong behind the bat of freshman third baseman Joey Roddy, picking up a 5-4 victory over the first place Cincinnati Steam. But the Scouts are back in action here at Grady's Field tonight as they take on the first place team in the entire league, the Lima Locos. The Locos 3-6 are playing the Scouts in a 2-game set here at Grady's Field tonight, and then a matinee tomorrow afternoon. That is tomorrow at 4 p.m. The Scouts will send Zach Wallace to the mound and tasked to take down this very tough lineup. And what have we seen from Zach Wallace? Well, Wallace, over 25 and 2/3 innings pitched in 7 appearances. He has started 4 of them. Wallace has allowed 16 earned runs. He has walked 9 and struck out 18, a 5.61 ERA for Wallace, a 0-2 record. So quickly before we get going here, let's get you the lineup around the diamond first for the Xenia Scouts. At first base, it's going to be Kyle Casserly, Ange Bourgeois at second, Aaron Tackett at short, and Joey Roddy at third. Jordan Lambert in left, Francisco Andina in center, and Dylan Lawtonville in right. So it looks like we are about to get things underway. The Locos are coming to the plate. The leadoff man is Tyler Tolbert. Tolbert, the shortstop from the University of Alabama at Birmingham. So Tolbert steps in here. to the catcher, Donald Ring. The first pitch of this ball game. And that one is grounded down the third base line. A foul ball. 0-1 the count to Tyler Tolbert. Tolbert, the shortstop from UAB, like we said, a 386 hitter on the year. That's 5 doubles. His only extra base hits, 8 RBIs, a 462 on base percentage for Tyler Tolbert. The 0-1. Curveball, that one just missing upstairs and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike the count here in the top of the first inning between the Scouts and the Lima Locos, just getting underway here at Grady's Field for those of you who are just joining us. A ball and a strike now. Wallace delivers. Curveball, that one finds the zone outside part of the plate. Wallace now ahead of the count 1-2. It'll be Tyler Tolbert, Garrett Hodges, and Will Kilgore due up for the first place Locos here in the first inning of this baseball game on a beautiful July evening in Xenia. The 1-2 pitch, and that one low, bouncing in the dirt, gets away from Donald Ring, but no harm, no foul with nobody on base. Evens up the count 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes now. The 2-2 pitch. And that one grounded towards the third baseman, Joey Roddy. He takes it on 1 hop, fires over to first in time. Out number 1. So the leadoff man now retired. Mark it down as a 5-3 in your books, folks. And that's going to bring Garrett Hodges to the plate. Garrett Hodges, the left fielder from Kennesaw State, a 324 hitter on the season. That's 4 doubles, 1 triple, and 6 home runs. All of those statistics there. A team high for these Lima Locos. Another team high, his 24 RBI. Righty Zach Wallace, 1 away here in the top of the first. First pitch from Wallace. That one bouncing in the dirt in front of the plate. 1 ball and no strikes now to Garrett Hodges. Hodges, the native of Guyton, Georgia. He awaits the 1-0 from Wallace. And that one low and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Hodges, 8 for 25. That's a 320 mark with 5 RBIs and a couple of home runs in his last 7 games. The 2-0. And that one's hit high in the air on the infield. Joey Roddy's calling for it. He makes the grab right near the mound on the third base side. 2 up, 2 down here for Zach Wallace. And a hot start for the pitcher from Palomar College. Wallace, of course, the native of the great state of California. One of a couple of Californians that we got on this team. Put Ange Bourgeois on that list. Put Ryan to the Scouts. So with 2 away now, it's Will Kilgore to the plate. Kilgore, the second baseman from Georgia State. First pitch curveball. That one finds the lower outside part of the zone. 1 ball or no balls and 1 strike here with 2 away. Kilgore, a 286 hitter on the year, 16 RBIs, 11 doubles, and 3 home runs. He has a team high 24 walks for these Lima Locos. 0-1 now. Wallace looks to Donald Ring. He sets and delivers. Swing and a miss there. Change up, and Wallace quickly ahead in this count, 0-2. Georgia State, of course, a program, a Division I program at that. And Kilgore, a lot of playing time, 115 at-bats with Georgia State this past season. Hit at a 261 mark in the spring in what was his junior year with the Georgia State Panthers. So Kilgore now calling time. He bats from the right side here against the righty Zach Wallace. Wallace looks to Donald Ring. The 0-2 pitch. And that one slider on the outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Kilgore, in his last 7 games, hitting at a 333 mark with 5 RBIs. 1 ball and 2 strikes here with 2 away in the top of the first. Wallace delivers, and that one is hit hard and deep to left field. Jordan Lambert goes back, and we'll watch that one go just to the left of the foul pole. A sigh of relief for Zach Wallace. We're going to stay at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kilgore really got a piece of that one, but if it's on the wrong side of that foul pole, it's no harm, no foul. So now Kilgore stepping back in. Wallace. 1-2 again. Curveball missing away. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. For those of you just joining us, top of the first inning here, 2 outs, nobody on. Zach Wallace got the leadoff man Tyler Tolbert to ground out, and then the 2-man Garrett Hodges to fly out on the infield. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Will Kilgore. Wallace looks to the catcher ring. He fires the 2-2 pitch, and that one's hit hard but foul out of play. First base side, we're going to stay at 2-2 again. So a good job here by Will Kilgore. Staying in the count, not letting Zach Wallace get the best of him. After falling behind in the count, 0-2. The 2-2 pitch coming for the third time. That time a curveball in there for a called strike 3. Zach Wallace gets Will Kilgore to go down looking, his first strikeout of the day, and that will send the Locos down scoreless in the top of the first. A 1-2-3 inning for Zach Wallace. No runs on no hits and nobody left aboard for the Locos in the top of the first. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network.
Now batting for your Xenia Scouts, the center fielder, number 5, Francisco Lundin.
We are back here, folks. The bottom of the first inning. Andrew Alix and Gabe Genovesi. Zach Wallace sent down the Lima Locos 1-2-3 in the top of the first, and now the Scouts will send the top of their order out in the home half. The pitcher for the Lima Locos is Cole Baker. And Gabe, what do we have on Cole Baker? First pitch to Andina, fouled it down. 0-1 goes the count.
Cole Baker on the year for the Lima Locos, a 5.4 ERA. This is his 7th appearance, only his 3rd start. 13 1/3 innings pitched, 15 hits, 8 earned runs, 9 walks, 10 strikeouts for Baker. Opponents bat .283 against the righty, a 1.8 whip.
So 0-1 the count to Francisco Andina. Defensively for the Lima Locos, it's Jack Barry at first, Will Kilgore at second, Tyler Tolbert at short, Jackson Fagg at third, Garrett Hodges in left, Ross Adolph in center, Josh DeBecker is in right, and JT Thomas is behind the dish. And it looks like Baker's going to take a couple of warm-up pitches here. Don't exactly know what just happened that caused that long pause in the game here. But for the Scouts, it'll be Francisco Andina, Aaron Takas, and Kyle Casserly due up here in the top, or I should say the bottom of the first inning. The 0-1 pitch to Andina. That one curveball finds the zone. 0-2 goes the count. Andina, a 198 hitter on the year 4 doubles, 1 home run, 5 RBIs. He does have 21 walks. That is second on the Scouts, second only to Ryan Park, who has 22. The 0-2 pitch. And that one, a slider fouled back by Francisco Andina. He stays alive, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And I don't know if I've ever seen that. He threw 1 pitch, and then they just gave him 2 more warm-up pitches. Like, I don't know if he was saying his elbow was hurting or what, and he needed a couple more, but they gave him the warm-up pitches, obviously.
The 0-2 to Francisco Andina. And that one hit on the ground over towards second base. Will Kilgore fields it cleanly. He throws over to first in time. That is out number 1. Mark it down as a 4-3, and the leadoff man for your Xenia Scouts is retired. So now Aaron Takis steps in. Takis, the shortstop from Corrin University, a .258 hitter on the year, 9 RBIs. He has 1 double, has struck out 14 times on the year. Takis has certainly been hotter of late. He was hitless in the second game of the doubleheader yesterday, but did pick up a hit in the first as he watches curveball off the plate. 1 ball and no strikes to Aaron Takis. But in the second game, I should say, Takis laid down a key squeeze bunt in the 4-run bottom of the 6th. The Scouts could come back, advancing the runners from first and second to second and third before it was Joey Roddy who could bring the couple and give the Scouts the lead. 2-0 now to Aaron Takis. Here's the pitch. Takis hits that one hard but foul out of play, third base side. The count goes 2-1. The Scouts, as a team, batting .237 on the year. That is last in the Great Lakes League. The 2-1 pitch now. And Takis hits that one on the ground, left field base hit. Aaron Takis gets things going for the Scouts offensively. And as Dave Naw is saying in the Xenia dugout right now, no hits the Scouts.
And a good piece from Takis there. An inside pitch, kind of took it the other way off the inside part of the bat. And as you said, Aaron Takis has been hot as of late, and he stays hot here to lead this one off.
So the Scouts pick up the first hit of the ball game by either side. And it's going to bring a very hot hitter to the plate in Kyle Casserly. Casserly steps in here from the left side. First pitch slider. That one catches the inside part of the plate. No balls and 1 strike. It's Aaron Takis at first and 1 away here in the bottom of the first inning. A scoreless game between the Scouts and the Lima Locos. Casserly, a .253 hitter on the year with 11 RBIs. His 7 doubles is tops on the Scout Ball Club. Curveball hit on the ground towards second. The second baseman, Will Kilgore, goes to second for 1. The throw to first for 2 will be in time. A 4-6-3 double play, and that will do it for the Xenia Scouts here in the home half of the first. So the Scouts manage a hit but can do nothing with it. No runs on. Thank you, Johnny Mack, for the free water here. We got Johnny Mack, Scouts assistant coach, and bringing some water. No runs on 1 hit and nobody left aboard for Xenia. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. So we go to the top of the second inning here, folks. Still scoreless between the Scouts and the Lima Locos. Jack Berry to the plate for the Locos as Zach Wallace is about to pitch his second inning of work. Wallace sent the Locos down 1-2-3 in the top of the first. First pitch curveball fouled down. No balls and one strike to Jack Berry. Berry from the University of Northwest Ohio. Get this. Berry, a native of Kalgoorlie, Western Australia. So an international player in the lineup here, and he's playing pretty well here in the Great Lakes League. A 300 hitter, 3 home runs, 17 RBIs. Berry calls time. So 0-1 the count. It'll be Jack Berry, J.T. Thomas, and Ross Adolph due up for the Lima Locos here. The 0-1 pitch coming now. Wallace delivers. That one inside in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Berry plays for the University of Northwest Ohio. Did not play in his first season with the club. A very successful baseball program they have there. Berry watches upstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike. 6 multi-hit games for Jack Berry. 4 in the last 6 ball games. 8 for his last 21 with 8 RBIs in the last week. 2-1. Grounded foul down the third base line. Evens at the count 2-2. To give you people some perspective at home, a pennant race is what we have going on here in the South Division. The Scouts in 4th place, but sit just 2.5 games out of first. So the out-of-town scoreboard stuff. As 2-2 comes, fouled down the third base line yet again. The count's going to stay at 2-2. We are in the top of the second inning here. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody out to the leadoff man in this inning, Jack Berry. Wallace looks to the catcher, Donald Ring. He delivers the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Zach Wallace gets Jack Berry swinging. His second strikeout of the day. First out here in the top half of the second. Gabe, we have seen Zach Wallace on a roll here to get things going.
And that's what you like to see from Wallace, who we know pounds the strike zone. We know he doesn't walk a lot of people, but he's going to put the ball over the plate, and we've seen teams hit Wallace. That hasn't been the case through 4 batters tonight.
J.T. Thomas to the plate. First pitch, inside part of the plate, a called strike. Good fastball there. J.T. Thomas from Mercer University, a .219 hitter on the year, 3 doubles, 5 RBIs for the catcher. He bats from the right side here against the righty Wallace, 0-1. That one just low. He evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. J.T. Thomas from Mercer University, and Mercer and the Lima Locos, a storied history. As Thomas awaits the 1-1 pitch now. That one curveball inside part of the plate, a called strike 2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes now to J.T. Thomas. Thomas, a 2017 All-America honorable mention after he hit .357 with 62 RBIs in the Division I Southern Conference. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Zach Wallace has struck out 3 in a row. His 3rd strikeout of the day, his 2nd out here in the top of the second. It's going to bring Ross Adolph to the plate.
And he's cruising here early. Obviously, it's only 5 batters in. A lot can happen. But this is exactly the start you're looking for if you're Zach Wallace.
So first pitch to Ross Adolph here with 2 away in the top of the second. Fastball low and outside. 1 ball and no strikes now with 2 away. Adolph just joined the Lima Locos in the last game. He took a 1-for-2 day. So 1-for-2 on the season is Ross Adolph. 1-0 pitch from Wallace. Hit hard in the air, deep center field. Going back is Francisco Andina. He'll slow up at the track and make the catch for out number 3. So Zach Wallace punches out a couple of Lima Locos and sends them down in order. No runs on no hits and nobody left aboard for Lima. We have reached the middle of the second. The Scouts and the Lima Locos still scoreless here at Grady's Field. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Back here in the home half of the second, and sorry we're a little bit behind. First pitch to Donald Ring was fouled down the third base line. 0-1 the count to Donald Ring. Ring a 246 hit around the year, 7 RBIs. The 1-0 or the 0-1 pitch upstairs evens up the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Ring, the catcher from Hillsdale College. He bats from the right side here, the left side here, against the righty. The pitch, curveball upstairs. They'll say Ring held off. 2 balls and 1 strike to Donald Ring. Ring, it'll be Ring, Jordan Lambert, and Chris Ackerman doing it for the Scouts here in the home half of the second. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Upstairs, 3-1. The Scouts managed to hit in the home half of the first, but their hopes were ended as it was immediately followed up by a 4-6-3 double play. 3-1. Upstairs, ball 4. So the Scouts have the leadoff man aboard and a very hot hitter to the plate in Jordan Lambert. Jordan Lambert in game 2 of the doubleheader yesterday. 2 for 4, a couple of singles, a couple of runs scored, and drove in a run. And Lambert, we've seen all throughout the season, let me tell you, his success comes in spurts. It comes in groups, I should say. First pitch to Lambert, curveball at the knees. 1 ball, no strikes to Jordan Lambert. Lambert, a 292 hit around the year, 4 doubles, 1 home run, and 14 RBIs. The 292 average is second on the Scouts ball club, the 1-0. And that one check swing fouled back, evens up the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. A quick game so far, as both pitchers face the minimum in the first inning of play. Lambert awaits the 1-1. Curveball hit on the ground towards first base. The first baseman can't handle it. It pops back. They toss over to first as the shortstop, I should say, was covering the bag. So Jordan Lambert out at first on what would be marked as a 3-1, I guess, or was that a 3-4-1? Kind of hard to tell.
Went off the first baseman's glove. Was it the second baseman who came over and flipped the ball to the pitcher?
I actually believe so.
So I think it's a 4. I think it's a
4, or does it count because it went off of his glove? Or not?
I don't think it counts. I think it's just 4-1.
We'll count it as a 4-1 there. It's probably the first time. All right, 4-1 in my book all year. But regardless, Donald Ring over to second. Joey Roddy to the plate. First pitch slider outside part of the plate. A called strike 1. The Scouts with their first runner in scoring position of the day in Donald Ring. Actually, check that. It's actually not Joey Roddy. It's Chris Ackerman. I looked at the wrong man in the batter's box. The 0-1 pitch. That one slider again. Way off the plate that time, even to the count 1-1. Chris Ackerman, a .233 hitter on the year. His 2 home runs are tops on the Xenia Scouts. He bats from the right side here. Pitch, and that time a curveball lower outside part of the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes moves the count to Chris Ackerman. Ackerman in the designated hitter role tonight. Normally a catcher by trade. The 1-2 pitch. And Ackerman chops that one over towards short. High chopper. In comes the shortstop, Tyler Tolbert. He throws over to first. Safe at first is Chris Ackerman. Chris Ackerman beats out an infield hit and on first with 1 out here in the home half of the second.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. That is an infield hit all the way. That's just straight hustle from Chris Ackerman as Tyler Tolbert fielded that ball pretty cleanly at shortstop and fired across the diamond. Great hustle by Ackerman. And now you got a runner on third with only 1 down. Something deep in the outfield scores a run.
So Joey Roddy will be tasked to bring the runner home. Roddy from the Ohio State University. He awaits first pitch upstairs and outside. 1 ball and no strikes here. It's Donald Ring at third, Chris Ackerman at first. A couple of Hillsdale Chargers on the base paths here, and a Buckeye trying to bring them home. A scoreless game here in the bottom of the second. Pitch, check swing, and that one's going to get past the catcher. Coming home is Donald Ring. A passed ball, and the Scouts take a 1-0 lead here in the home half.
And not how you were thinking you would score the first run of the game, but any way you can get it, you're going to take it. Now you have another runner in scoring position. Roddy ahead in the count 2-0, so he's going to have a hitter's count here and a pitch to hit.
Joey Roddy, a big day yesterday at the plate. We saw him a 3 RBI day after having just 5 RBIs all season. Pitch. And Roddy hits that one on the ground. Fair territory, first base side. The first baseman, Barry, fields it cleanly and steps on first for out number 2. Chris Ackerman moves from second to third. So Dylan Lottenville to the plate with an opportunity to bring another runner just 90 feet away home. The Scouts with a 1-0 lead here in the home half of the second. Lottenville, a 109 hitter on the year. 3 doubles, 4 RBIs. One of those doubles coming yesterday. Pitch, curveball. That one catches the lower outside part of the zone. No balls and 1 strike here with 2 away. Lottenville, a native of Bellevue, Washington. He bats from the right side against the righty. The 0-1 pitch, and Lottenville fouls that one straight back. 0-2 goes the count. How did we get here? Well, Donald Ring walked. Jordan Lambert grounded out to first, but Ring advanced. Chris Ackerman then beat out an infield hit. Ring advanced to third, and then with Joey Roddy at the plate, a wild pitch brought home the runner at third, Donald Ring. Is that pitch on the outside now. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dylan Lottenville. 2 away here in the bottom of the second. 1-0 Scouts is your score. Chris Ackerman stands just 90 feet away. The 1-2 pitch. And that one catches the outside part of the zone and in there for a called strike 3. Dylan Lottenville goes down looking, and that will do it for the Scouts in the home half of the second. But Xenia strikes first. 1 run on 1 hit and 1 man left. We have played a couple of innings of baseball here at Grady's Field. The Scouts lead the Lima Locos by a score of 1-0. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go into the top of the third inning. Andrew Alex here alongside Gabe Genovesi, the Scouts, with a 1-0 lead over the Lima Locos. And Zach Wallace out to pitch here in the top of the third. First pitch, that one catching the inside part of the plate, called strike one. Zach Wallace has retired the first 6 Lima Locos. He has faced here 3 strikeouts in those 6 outs. So now he'll face Jackson Fag, Jed Fag, and Josh DeBacker here in the top of the third. The 0-1 pitch from Wallace bouncing on the outside. Evens the count up, 1 ball and 1 strike. Jackson Fag, the man at the plate. Fag from Yavapai College. The 1-1 pitch. That one bouncing on the outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Fag, a 200 hitter on the year. 3 doubles, 1 home run, 13 RBIs. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss there. Good curveball there from Zach Wallace. Evens up the count 2-2. Yavapai College, of course, a junior college in the great state of Arizona. A very successful season for that program as they went to the Junior College World Series. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wallace delivers. And that one just fouled back into the plate. We're going to stay at 2-2.
Yeah, that's a couple straight pitches where he's just got a piece of the Wallace off speed. I'm curious to see if Wallace tries to blow one by him now or if he goes back to the curveball.
Zach Wallace looks to Donald Ring now. Fag bats from the left side against the righty. Curveball swing and a miss. Strike 3. Zach Wallace retires. Strikes out his 4th batter of the game. And he continues to roll here in the 3rd inning as now Jackson Fag's brother, Jed Fag, going to come to the plate. Jed Fag, slightly more successful this season so far than his brother. A .214 average on the year with 4 RBIs. So more RBIs actually for Jackson Fag, but Jed Fag doing a little bit better in the batting average category. First pitch curveball taken all the way, a called strike.
And now 8 up, 8 down. 7 up, 7 down for Zach Wallace. When you retire 3-4 in a row, you know you're just starting the game well, but now he's really in a groove.
The 0-1 pitch. And that one comes way on the inside, hits Jed Fag on the elbow. So Jed Fag takes his free 90 feet, the first base runner of the game for the Lima Locos. And it's going to go to the 9-hitter, but basically the de facto double leadoff man in Josh DeBacker. Josh DeBacker from Wichita State University, a .333 hitter on the year. That's with 4 doubles, a triple, and 13 batted in for the right fielder from Wichita State.
And as soon as I say that,
yeah,
Wallace
total curse of the commentator.
Total broadcast, which I don't believe in, by the way. But
no,
total.
I mean, yeah, that's a stupid thing to believe in, but it happens all the time. Pickoff attempt over to first, not in time. Top of the 3rd inning here, the Scouts with a 1-0 lead over the Lima Locos. 1 on and 1 out, and Zach Wallace has had probably his most impressive couple of innings thus far this season. Here in the first couple at Grady's Field, the pitch that time, breaking ball on the outside, 1 ball and no strikes. DeBacker, 8 for his last 20 with 3 RBIs. That's a .400 average over the past 7 games. The 1-0 pitch. Curveball that time catching the outside part of the plate, a called strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Josh DeBacker. DeBacker, the native of Kansas City, Missouri. Plays his college baseball at Wichita State in the great state of Kansas. Wichita State, a 1-time College World Series champion. That came in 1989. They have made it to the College World Series 7 times. So DeBacker bats from the left side here against the righty Zach Wallace. Jed Fag leads from first. The 1-1 pitch. And that one hit in the air, center field, left center field, I should say. Jordan Lambert will call off Francisco Andina and make the grab out in left center. Out number 2, and now back at the top of the order with 1 on and 2 away.
So 1 time through the order for Wallace, one base runner and a hit by pitch. No hits given up yet. We'll see what he can do the second time through, because that's what we've seen a lot of times from a couple of these scouts pitchers. They get through the first, they make their way through the lineup the first time. They do very well, only gave up one hit or two, no runs. And then the second time through, the opponent just gets a read on them and they jump on them. I'm curious to see what Wallace does tonight.
First pitch to Tyler Tolbert on the inside, 1 ball and no strikes. 2 away here in the top of the third. A runner at first is Jed Fag. Tolbert, his first time to the plate, grounded out over to Joey Ronnie at third base. The first of what ended up being 7 consecutive outs made by Zach Wallace to start this game. Pickoff attempt over to first, not in time. Tolbert, like we said, a .386 hitter. That is tops on the Lima Locos. And as many of you, I assume, would believe, that .386 mark good enough to earn Tyler Tolbert a spot on the All-Star team. Curveball, swing and a miss that time, 1 ball and 1 strikes. Tyler Tolbert, Gabe, you told me this earlier, and I could barely believe it. A 19-game hit streak. Unheard of.
Oh, that's ridiculous. This kid can really hit the ball.
1-1 now. Pickoff attempt over to first, and they got him. A great pickoff attempt from Zach Wallace. Sits down Jed Fag out over at first, and he will face the minimum yet again. No runs on no hits, and nobody left aboard for Lima in the top of the third. We've reached the middle of the third. 1-0 Scouts. Easier score here at Grady's Field. The Scouts will bat again in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go into the bottom of the third inning here. The Scouts lead the Lima Locos by a score of 1-0. Ange Bourgeois to lead things off for Xenia. First pitch to Ange. Slider inside part of the plate, or inside, not the part of the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Bourgeois, a .225 hitter on the year, a couple of doubles, a triple, and 7 RBIs. He watches curveball upstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike to Bourgeois. 2 balls and no strikes to Bourgeois. Oh, I'm losing it. It'll be Bourgeois, Undina, and Aaron Takis. Due up for Xenia. The pitch, up and away. 3 balls and no strikes. And the Scouts, who led off the last inning with a leadoff walk that ended up coming around to score. 1 pitch away from getting that leadoff man on yet again. 3 balls and no strikes. The pitch, and that one does clip the upper inside part of the zone. A called strike. So the get me across does just that. 3 balls and 1 strike down to Ange Bourgeois. Bourgeois bats from the left side here against the righty. The pitch on the outside, ball 4. So Ange Bourgeois draws a leadoff walk, and now back to the top of the order with the leadoff man aboard and nobody out for Xenia. So Francisco Undina now to the plate. Undina, a .198 hitter, 4 doubles, 1 home run, 5 RBIs. His first time to the plate here against Cole Baker. He grounded out over to second base. Let's see what he can do his second time through. First pitch curveball finds the zone, taken all the way by Andina. 0-1 the count. Andina from Spring Arbor University, an NAIA program in the great state of Michigan. The 0-1. Up and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Andina started his season batting mostly in the 9-hole. Since Ben Beachy has been unable to play with a knee injury, he's kind of taken more of that leadoff spot. 1-1 pitch, curveball, outside part of the plate, taken for a called strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Francisco Andina. Andina bats from the left side here against the righty. Andina mostly a singles hitter. No doubt about that, but we have seen him flex his power. 5 extra base hits so far this year. The 1-2 pitch. And that one is knocked into center field, and that one's going to drop a base hit for Francisco Andina. So Francisco Andina, after falling behind in the count 1-2, hits that one right on the nose, knocks into center field, and now the Scouts with runners at first and second. And nobody out here in the home half of the third.
And that's what you like to see from your first 2 batters to lead off the inning, especially Ange Bourgeois in the 9-hole. That opens up so many possibilities. Andina could have laid down a bunt, moved Bourgeois over to second with only 1 out. And with the top of the lineup up, Bubba Cates more likely to do that because he knows he has some good hitters behind Andina in the leadoff spot.
And undoubtedly speed on the base path now with Andina. And Aaron Taka shows bunt, but that one goes foul out of play, third base side. No balls and 1 strike to Aaron Takas. Takas laid down a tremendous bunt yesterday, part of that Scouts comeback as they were trailing 3-0 to the Lima Locos at one point, but a 4-run inning. Well, they were trailing 3-1 at the time, but a 4-run inning when Takas moved the tying and go-ahead run over. A big part of that rally. Takas tries bunt again. He pulls back as that pitch way high. 1 ball and 1 strike. That being said, though, we have seen Takas struggle with the bunt so far this year.
And he struggled those first few times, but he has laid his last couple down.
So 1-1 now to Takas. Third base playing in. First base playing in as well. Takas shows bunt. Pulls back as that pitch delivers on the outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Aaron Takas. Takas, a .258 hitter. His first time up, a single. The first hit of the game for the Scouts. 1 of 3 so far for Xenia.
And I would not be surprised to see Takas show bunt and pull back and take a whack at the thing, try to pull it down the right field line.
And Takas bunts that one foul straight back into the plate. So 2 balls and 2 strikes now, and Takas is going to have to swing away.
And the reason I said that is because we saw Ben Beachy do it about a week and a half, 2 weeks back. He roped the double down the line after squaring the bunt. It brought both the corners in, so a hard ground ball got past the first baseman easily, and a run scored.
So the first baseman and third baseman back out to regular depth, the 2-2 pitch, and Takas shows bunt, and that one is going to go foul. So a strikeout. And the runners, Bourgeois, Francisco Andina will have to go back. So Aaron Takas with the gutsy decision there to try to bunt with 2 strikes. It does not end up paying off. Mark that one down as a strikeout officially.
Yep.
And 1 away here in the home half of the third. Going to bring Kyle Casserly to the plate. Casserly, a .253 hitter, 7 doubles, 11 RBIs. His first time up, grounded into a double play. First pitch to Cass. Cass swings but fouls that one out of play. On the third base side, 0-1 the count here. It's Ange Bourgeois at second, Francisco Andina at first here. With 1 away in the home half of the third, the Scouts leaving the first place in the league. Lima Locos by a score of 1-0, trying to add a couple more. The 0-1 pitch coming now. Curveball fouled out of play on the third base side yet again. Kyle Casserly quickly behind in this count, 0-2. Casserly from Wright State University. A big day yesterday as well. A 2-for-3 day in the second game of the doubleheader for Kyle Casserly. A run scored and an RBI. He actually reached base 3 times if you include the walk. As the 1-2 grounded over towards first. The first baseman will take it step on first. Both runners with a pretty good jump take away the double play ball. So Andina and Bourgeois move to second and third respectively. But now with 2 outs, it's going to be a lot of pressure on Donald Ring to try to bring these guys home. So mark that one down as what will end up being a 3 unassisted. And a big spot for Donald Ring. Ring, his first time up, drew a walk. Ended up coming around to score on a passed ball. So Ring batting from the left side here against the righty. Runners at second and third here with 2 away in the home half of the third. Ring swings at first pitch. That one high in the air, a towering fly ball, but just not deep enough. Ross Adolph calls for it. He'll make the grab for out number 3. So the Scouts get a couple of men aboard, but can do nothing with them. No runs on 1 hit and 2 men left aboard for Xenia. We have played 3 innings of baseball. The Scouts lead the Lima Locos by a score of 1-0. Gabe Genovesi will bring you all the action in the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th. And I'll be right here with you all as well. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network.
We head to the top of the 4th here at Grady's Field. A 1-0 Xenia Scouts lead over the Lima Locos as we head to the 4th inning. Zach Wallace comes out for his 4th inning of work. No hits allowed thus far by Zach Wallace. He'll face the top of the order. Tyler Tolbert, Garrett Hodges, and Will Kilgore, the 1-2-3 batters, due up here in the 4th for the Locos. Wallace, the righty on the mound, faces the righty Tolbert. The first pitch, off speed in there at the knee, strike 1. Tolbert 0 for 1 today, a ground out to the third baseman Roddy, his first time up in the 1st inning. But the Alabama Birmingham Blazer can really hit the ball. A 19-game hit streak for Tolbert, the 1-0. Bunt showed he whiffed at it, 0-2. Excuse me, so it was the 0-1 pitch now, 0-2. Tolbert has a hit in 25 of 26 games played this year for the Lima Locos. So the 19-game hit streak, he had an 0 for 4 day 20 games ago. That was the only day without a hit for the 5'11 righty. And now he'll step out and call time. Tolbert, 12 multi-hit games on the year, including 7 in a row from June 21st through July 2nd. Now the 0-2 pitch. Curveball swung on and missed, strike 3. Zach Wallace continues to groove. 5 strikeouts through 10 batters faced. 1 down here in the 4th. And that'll bring up Garrett Hodges for the Locos. Hodges also 0 for 1 today. He flew out to Joey Roddy at third base, his first time up in the 1st. Wallace comes set. The pitch. Fastball. Foul ball. Popped up. Third base line. Roddy pursuing, and he makes the grab. So 2 F5s for Garrett Hodges tonight. Joey Roddy taking care of Hodges twice. 2 down here in the 4th. And that'll bring up Will Kilgore for the Lima Locos. Kilgore 0 for 1. Struck out looking to end the 1st inning. He was the first victim of Wallace. Kilgore bats from the right side. The first pitch. Fastball outside corner, strike 1. Kilgore, no batting gloves on his hand. Also a very open stance from the right side. His front foot way back behind his back foot. And the bat waving above his back shoulder. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. A good curveball from Wallace. 0-2.
Wallace is really just hitting his spots all night, getting the hit on guys, and 1 out away here from sending them down in order, or 1 pitch away, I should say, from sending them down in order for the 4th straight time.
Kilgore steps back in. Wallace takes the sign from Park. The 0-2 pitch. Curveball. Catches the outside corner, strike 3. Zach Wallace has his 6th strikeout of the afternoon. He's only faced 12 through 4 innings. That's the minimum. The Scouts lead 1-0 heading to the home half of the 4th. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We head to the bottom half of the 4th inning here at Grady's Field in Xenia, Ohio. A 1-0 lead for the Scouts over the Lima Locos. Jordan Lambert leads it off here in the bottom of the 4th. The first pitch to him, hard ground ball, base hit left field. Lambert has his first hit of the day, a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 4th. 1 on, nobody down for Chris Ackerman.
And the Scouts just firing at all cylinders right now. We're really seeing everything come together all at one time. Now, the leadoff man aboard for the 3rd consecutive inning for the Scouts. They had 2 runners in scoring position last inning, didn't get either of them home. If you're the Scouts now, you got to add on to this lead, as well as Zach Wallace is pitching. You got to understand that this Lima Locos team is one of the most talented teams in the league, the most home runs of any team in the league.
Ackerman takes a curveball high, 1-0.
The most talented batting lineups of any of these teams in these leagues. So you got to add on. You got to give Zach Wallace some room to work. You got to get insurance runs. Good hit by Lambert to start things off. Let's see if they can execute now.
Ackerman bats from the right side. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses way low and away. A good stop by the catcher, J.T. Thomas, to prevent Lambert from going to second. The count 2-0 on Ackerman. Ackerman 1 for 1 today with a single back in the second inning. He got stranded at third. Lambert leads off of first. The 2-0 pitch. Curveball high, ball 3. 3-0 to Chris Ackerman. And as Andrew just mentioned, the Scouts had their first 2 runners aboard last inning in the third. First and second, nobody down. They couldn't get anyone across. Now the 3-0 pitch. Off speed, catches the outside corner. 3-1.
Yeah, close pitch there.
And an interesting pitch call. That looked like a changeup from the pitcher Cole Baker on a 3-0 pitch. Now the 3-1. Fastball fouled off behind the plate. We'll go to 3-2. Ackerman in the designated hitter's role tonight for the Scouts.
Yeah, Ackerman, who the problem for him throughout this season has been the strikeout. If you're Chris, you want to put something in play, not a double play ball, but possibly a ground ball, slow one down the first base line, get the runner over. Lambert's dancing at first.
The 3-2 swung on and missed, strike 3. Ackerman goes down swinging after being ahead in the count 3-0. That's a big win for Cole Baker on the mound.
A good job there by Cole Baker to fight his way back into that count. We've seen it a couple of times, most notably with Ange Bourgeois, where he kind of just rolled over after falling behind 3-1. Just, did get 3-0, got the get me across, and wasn't even close on the 3-1 pitch. So good fight there by Baker.
Roddy swings at a curveball, 0-1. Joey Roddy 0 for 1 today with a ground out to the first baseman Barry, his first time up. Lambert leads off of first, a 1-0 Scouts lead here in the bottom of the fourth. The pitch. Curveball, Lambert going, popped up, shallow right field. Lambert's going to have to hustle back to first. The catch is made. Lambert is safe. 2 down. Lambert got lucky he didn't get doubled up. He'll stay at first.
Well, Lambert noticed at pretty much the latest possible moment that he could. He was really hustling as the hit and run was on, but Roddy put that one in the air to right field, and let me tell you, not very deep. So good hustle by Lambert, both on the hit and run attempt and on the way to get back.
And that'll bring up Dylan Lottenville for the Scouts. Lottenville 0 for 1 today. He struck out looking in the second inning. Baker sets. The first pitch. Curveball in there at the knees on the outside corner. 0-1. Lottenville now 6 for 56 on the year. The pitch. Fastball high and away, 1-1. Of his 6 hits, 3 of them are doubles, however. Lottenville bats from the right side. The pitch. Curveball low. Another great block from J.T. Thomas. Count 2-1 on the junior from Hillsdale College. Lottenville playing right field tonight for the Scouts, his normal position. I don't believe we've seen him anywhere else.
I think we've seen him left one time on a late game defensive substitution.
Yeah, maybe for an inning. The 2-1 misses outside, 3-1 to Dylan Lottenville.
We certainly haven't seen him in center, and he actually can play first base as well, and we haven't seen him in that spot either.
Mainly a right fielder / first base type of guy at school, too.
Yeah, a lot of first base during school ball.
The 3-1 pitch. Fastball catches the outside edge, 3-2. Lottenville, despite the 109 batting average, a 310 on base percentage because of 15 walks. Trying to get on any way he can here. Lambert will be going, and now Baker steps off. 3-2, 2 down, bottom of the fourth. The Xenia Scouts lead the Lima Locos 1-0 here at home. 2 down here in the bottom of the fourth. Lambert leads off first. Lottenville at the plate. The 3-2 pitch swung on and fouled off behind the plate. Will stay at 3-2.
We saw Lottenville with the double yesterday. Let's see if he can possibly stay hot here. Obviously, he's had his troubles, but just adjusting to the wood bat is a tough thing to do in this league.
Lawtonville waves the bat above his back shoulder. The payoff pitch. Fastball fouled off once again behind the Locos dugout down the first base line. We'll do 3-2 all over again.
And as I think about how Dylan Lawtonville working the pitch count, staying alive, I look to the Lima bullpen, and they already have someone going.
Baker, a guy who doesn't have a decision in 6 appearances, a 5.4 ERA. Now the pitch. Popped up. Shallow right field. The right fielder comes in, makes the grab. That's Josh DeBacker out there in right. The Scouts go down 1-2-3 after the leadoff single from Jordan Lambert. 1-0 Xenia heading to the 5th. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. To the top of the 5th we go here at Grady's Field. A 1-0 lead for the Xenia Scouts over the Lima Locos. Zach Wallace back on the mound for his 5th inning of work. 4 scoreless so far for Zach Wallace. No hits allowed. 1 base runner on a hit by pitch back in the 3rd inning. The first pitch to Jack Berry. Curveball chopped foul right into the Scouts dugout. Down the 3rd base line, you see Jack Raines and Landon Williams hop on out of there. 1-0. Barry, Thomas, and Adolph, the 4, 5, 6 hitters, due up for the Locos here in the 5th. Barry bats from the right side. The 0-1 pitch from Wallace. Curveball. Blooper. Base hit left field. Lambert fields it on a hop, throws it in to Takis at short. A leadoff single for Jack Berry, and there goes no hitter here in the 5th.
Yeah, Zach Wallace, not tonight, boss, but let's see after, allowing his first hit, how he can recover. A lot of talented guys, even at the bottom of this order for the Lima Locos. Wallace, by the way, this will be pitch number 50, first pitch of this next at-bat.
So working pretty efficiently here in the 5th.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's, a little under about 12, 13 pitches
per inning,
roughly.
JT Thomas to the plate for the Locos. He struck out his first time up in the 2nd inning, went down swinging. The first pitch, off speed, misses inside, 1-0. Thomas, 219 hitter on the year, 3 extra base hits, all doubles. And Wallace steps off the mound, and we've seen it from Wallace all year long. He's going to take his sweet time up there on the rubber, not worrying about rushing anything. He'll stand there for 10 seconds before he delivers.
And Wallace fearless out there.
The 1-0. Fastball, ground ball toward Roddy. Diving stop made. Gets up, throws across the diamond, and he's out. A good play by Joey Roddy over at the hot corner. He retires Thomas. Jack Berry moves to second because of the dive. Roddy couldn't go to second with it, but 1 down here in the 5th.
And when I see Joey Roddy play out there, both in the batter's box and in the field, 3 words come to mind: learning on the job. But Joey Roddy, who redshirt freshman year, Ohio State, didn't have much action, actually injured as well, so didn't get to practice. We've seen the at-bats improve quality-wise in terms of the strikeout numbers going down. And at third, a play like that, couple weeks ago, beginning of the season, he's not going to make that diving play. And even if he does, he's not going to be able to get it over to first on his knees. Tremendous work there by Joey Roddy.
Ross Adolph, the batter now for the Lima Locos. He bats from the left side. Adolph 0 for 1 today. He flew out to the center fielder, Andina, his first time up in the second inning. Wallace takes the sign from Park behind the plate. Ring behind the plate. The first pitch. Fastball, skied high, foul territory, and it'll go out of play. Roddy pursuing down the third baseline again. 0-1.
Would Zach Wallace have wanted that one or what? That one hung in the air for a while, giving Roddy a thought that he might have had a chance at it, but ultimately way out of play.
Adolph, the Toledo Rocket. He'll be a junior with the Rockets this next season. The 0-1 pitch from Zach Wallace. Fouled off behind the plate, 0-2. Adolph played in all 58 games for Toledo. A .272 hitter, 13 doubles, 6 triples, 7 home runs, 30 RBIs for Ross Adolph. You could call that a pretty successful school year.
A lot of time, played in almost every game for those Toledo Rockets.
Wallace spins back to second, will not make a throw. Barry dives back safely. Aaron Takis, Ange Bourgeois in the middle infield. Neither of them at the base. Roddy and Casserly both behind the bags at the respective corners. Roddy at the hot corner, Casserly at first. The 0-2. Foul off once again. We'll stay at 0-2.
Staying alive there is Ross Adolph. And it'll be interesting as Zach Wallace's pitch count goes up. Who the Scouts have in store? I would expect Jack Rains and Caden Owens if they can hold the lead.
Adolph stands in from the left side. The 0-2, not quite delivered. Wallace going to look back at second once again.
Well, and if you're the runner, Jack Barry, you've already seen Zach Wallace with a successful pickoff. You got to be careful over there.
The 0-2. Curveball misses just low, 1-2. And that's a good 0-2 pitch from Zach Wallace. That ball stayed in the zone for a while, finally crossed at about the shins of Adolph. Wallace sets the pitch. Chopped, fair ball. Ring's going to pick it up, go to first right away, get the out. The runner, Barry, moves to third, 2 down here in the 5th.
And now just a big spot here. Gut check for Zach Wallace. Not the most, talented hitter in terms of average in the lineup, and Jackson Fagg coming to the plate. But still, you're holding a 1-0 lead. And if you're a pitcher, that's why we've been talking about in the previous innings. Give the man some insurance rounds. It's tough to work with a 1-0 lead, but let's see what Wallace can do here.
Wallace going to hand the ball to the field umpire and get rid of that one. Has a smile on his face. Apparently, that ball was no good. A runner on third here with 2 down for the Lima Locos. The homestanding Scouts lead the Locos 1-0 here in the top of the 5th. Jackson Fagg to the plate for the Locos, trying to deliver Lima's first run of the game. The first pitch from Wallace. Curveball up the middle, base hit, an RBI single for Jackson Fagg. We're tied at 1.
It happened just Jackson Fagg attacking right away, and he delivers. So just like that, the lead is relinquished, and what was a no-hitter coming into this inning ends up being a possible no decision or even a possible loss if Zach Wallace can't shore it up right here. Still a very impressive outing thus far, no questions asked, but it would be nicer if it was a 3-1 game or a 4-1 game if they had been able to get at least a couple of those runners on base in.
Jackson Fagg just took a curveball up in the zone as the first pitch to his brother, Jedediah Fagg, and he's hit again. Jed Fagg is hit for the second time today.
Oh, and that's not a good one because you go from, or maybe they'll tell him that.
And I'm not quite sure what's happening here. The home plate umpire literally examining Jed Fagg's arm.
Yeah.
And Zach Wallace also having a word with the home plate umpire. And Bubba Cates is out on the field too. Did Wallace think that hit the knob of the bat maybe?
I believe so. And there, a lot of people talking out there on the mound. Now the field umpire and the home plate umpire out to convene and have a word with Wallace. Wallace is not pleased, and understandably so, because with that hit by pitch there, Jed Fagg over at first. Now that puts a free pass for the 214 hitter and brings the 333 hitter to the plate.
Josh DeBacker to the plate. He'll bat from the left side. He is 0 for 1 today with the fly out to Lambert in left field. Bubba Cates still talking to the home plate umpire.
Yeah, that's Steve Hammond behind the plate.
DeBacker, as Andrew mentioned, a 333 hitter, actually hitting 400 in his last 7 games. And Bubba Cates, okay, he's not going to go talk to the umpire again. He's going to come out and have a visit with Zach Wallace on the mound. Still nobody in the bullpen for the Scouts. The whole infield comes in for Xenia. A 1-1 tie between the Locos and the Scouts here in the top of the 5th. Lima up to bat. The Locos have tied it here in the top of the 5th. A run on 2 hits, both singles. Runners on first and second. It's the Fagg brothers. Jackson at second. Jed at first. Josh DeBacker at the plate for Lima. And
there's a
lengthy meeting.
A long conversation happening here.
And this moment feels really intense here at Grady's Field. You're playing the top team in the league, the whole league. Locos are in the Central Division. The Scouts, of course, in the Southern Division. The Locos are 23-6 this year, the best record in the league by, honestly, I don't have it in front of me, by at least 5 games.
Of course, and they have as many losses now as we did 8 games in.
Right. And in a 1-1 ball game here in the 5th, this is the most important at-bat of the game. The first pitch to Josh DeBacker will come in a moment as he's going to step out. Zach Wallace, again, not afraid to just stand there, stare down a runner at second, stare down the batter at home. He'll wait for you to call time. The first pitch, fastball misses low and away, 1-0. And this is where, if you're the Scouts, you're just hoping Wallace can get out of this inning. A 1-1 tie will at least go into the 6th with a tie ball game. Still no one in the bullpen. I wouldn't be surprised if that comes pretty soon here. I would be very shocked if Wallace goes more than 6 innings in this ball game.
Regardless of whether he gets out of this or not, it's coming.
The pitch, ground ball towards second. Bourgeois, a backhanded sliding play. He made it. Ange Bourgeois ranges to his right and makes the play. A ground out to second to end the inning. But the Locos get 1 on 2 hits, and they leave 2 left aboard. We're tied at 1, heading to the home half of the 5th. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. To the bottom of the fifth we go here at Grady's Field. A 1-1 tie between the Lima Locos and the Xenia Scouts, as Ange Bourgeois will try to get something going for the Scouts here in the bottom of the fifth. Bourgeois, the 9-hole hitter for Xenia tonight, followed by Francisco Andina and Aaron Takis, the 1-2 hitters for the Scouts. The first pitch to Bourgeois outside, 1-0. So the last time this situation happened, back in the third inning, Bourgeois was able to get on with a walk. Andina was able to single. And now the 1-0 to Bourgeois. Fastball low, 2-0. But the Scouts left those two stranded. Runners on first and second, nobody down. They left them stranded in the third. So they could not get a run across.
And just asking around, the deal with why Zach Wallace and Bubba and that meeting with the umpire.
Bourgeois grounds one towards second. The second baseman, Kilgore, makes the play, 1 down.
But back to what I was saying. The reason with Zach Wallace, with the argument with the umpire, with Bubba coming out, apparently Jed Fag is just leaning out over the plate. His hands are over the plate, and apparently he's not even making any attempt to move, and you can see it. He's been hit by a pitch twice. So Zach Wallace was upset, saying it's obviously you cannot intentionally get hit by a pitch like that.
Saying his hands are covering the inside corner.
Mm-hmm.
Now the pitch to Andina. He shows bunt, takes a curveball high, 1-0. Jed Fag has been hit by a pitch now for tied for the team lead in 8 with 8. Excuse me, I can't talk. But he had been hit by a pitch 6 times coming into this game, make it 8 here today. The 1-0 to Andina. Fastball up and in, 2-0. Jed Fag has now been hit 8 times. And Will Kilgore has been hit 8 times for the Locos. The pitch to Andina. Inside strike 1. Catches the inside corner, 2-1. Andina 1 for 2 today. The single was last time up in the third inning. A ground out to the second baseman Kilgore, his first time up to lead off the game. The 2-1 pitch. Andina shows bunt, takes a strike on the outside edge, 2-2.
Yeah, Francisco Andina taking there. He's going to have to swing away here with 2-2. Already has a hit today.
Andina steps out, takes a deep breath from the left side. Now the 2-2 pitch. Curveball just fouled off behind the plate. Andina got a tip of it. We'll stay at 2-2.
Big curveball that time from Cole Baker. And Andina was lucky to just get a piece of that one, but all's well that ends well. He stays alive.
Andina in the leadoff spot tonight. Talking to him, he doesn't mind whether he's in the leadoff spot or the 9-hole. Now the 2-2. Curveball fouled off behind the Scouts dugout down the third base line. We'll stay at 2-2. He says, just put me wherever you want to put me. I'll hit wherever. He did both at Spring Arbor in the spring as well. 198 hitter, but a 363 on base percentage with his 21 walks. Second on the team. The 2-2 pitch. Curveball high and away, 3-2.
Scouts need to rally here. They need to get something going.
And we say that. The score's 1-1, but against the top team in the league in the Locos, you're going to need to score runs and fast. The 3-2 popped up. Foul territory, third base line. The third baseman, Fag, pursuing, and he made the grab just in front of the wall over there along the third base line, and there's 2 down.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Back to what you were saying, Gabe, I don't want to overstress a sense of urgency because it is a tie ball game. The Scouts aren't losing by any means, but with a team of this level of talent and the fact that behind the starting pitcher, who is let up a couple of hits, but he's been pretty surefire so far. They have a great bullpen as well. Scouts have a good bullpen too, but
Takis takes a curveball at the knees, strike 1. Aaron Takis bats from the left side. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball inside corner, strike 2. Takis hopped out of the way. Doesn't like the call, but it's 0-2. He steps out, steps back in. A 1-1 tie between the Lima Locos and the Xenia Scouts. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball, ground ball up the middle. Tolbert fields it at short, fires to first. Takis beat it out. An infield single for Aaron Takis, his second hit of the day. 1 on, 2 down for Kyle Casserly.
Tremendous hustle there by Aaron Takis. That ball hit smack up the middle. The shortstop Tolbert was playing a shade towards the middle, so he was there to get in front of it, but he ended up fielding the ball in, like, the de facto outfield, the green area of the turf. And he ended up having to make a quick, kind of awkward throw. Takis was there all the way. A 2-out hit. Let's see what Casserly can do.
Casserly, first pitch, fastball, popped up. Shallow, third base, and the third baseman, Jackson Fagg, makes the grab. A first pitch pop-up for Kyle Casserly. Boy, did he get the pitch he wanted. Fastball inside part of the plate, and he just missed it. 1-1 between the Lima Locos and the Xenia Scouts as we head to the 6th. You're listening to Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network.
Now batting, number 1, Tyler Tolbert.
We head to the 6th here at Grady's Field in Xenia, Ohio. A 1-1 tie between the Lima Locos and the Xenia Scouts. The 1-2-3 hitters due up here in the 6th for Lima. The top of the order for the Locos, not so hot thus far. 0 for 6 combined. Tyler Tolbert at the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. The first pitch from Zach Wallace. Fastball, blooped, shallow center field. Bourgeois ranging back. He makes the grab. A good play by the second baseman, Ange Bourgeois. 1 away here in the 6th.
And great reaction time there by Bourgeois. And we have Tyler Tolbert, the man with the 19-game hitting streak at 0 for 3 so far.
Tolbert has a hit in every game but 1 this season for the Locos. 25 of 26. He's now 0 for 3, and in steps Garrett Hodges for the Locos. Zach Wallace in his 6th inning of work. The first pitch to Hodges. Fastball high at the chin, 1-0. Garrett Hodges, the left fielder tonight for the Locos, 0 for 2. 2 pop-outs to Joey Roddy at third base. The 1-0 pitch. Curveball misses inside and low, 2-0. Hodges, a .324 hitter on the year. Elbow high, bat above his back shoulder, the 2-0 pitch. Fastball, hard ground ball toward Casserly. At first, he picks it up, steps on the bag, 2 down here in the 6th.
An efficient stuff for Zach Wallace so far. This is exactly what Corey Coos wanted to see out of him in the 6th. The part of the scout success is how efficient their bullpen has been. But unfortunately, a lot of these guys can't go that far. I mean, Caden Owens can do, 1 or 2 innings at a time. If he does more, as Oral Roberts' coach, not going to be happy about it. So if you can minimize the usage of that, 1 out away here from setting up a very good bullpen and give the Scouts an opportunity to get a W in this game.
Will Kilgore to the plate. The first pitch curveball in there at the knees. Strike 1. Kilgore 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts, both looking in the 1st and the 4th inning. The top of this Locos order, 386 hitter is Tolbert, 324 Hodges. Kilgore is a 286 hitter. Now the pitch, fastball high, 1-1. And Zach Wallace has mowed him down, including this inning. The top three hitters now 0 for 8. A 1-1 tie between the Lima Locos and the Xenia Scouts here in the top of the 6th. The visiting Locos trying to keep the inning going. The pitch to Kilgore. Curveball misses low and away, 2-1. Kilgore, the second baseman tonight for Lima. He's hitting .333 over his last 7 games. 4 doubles in his last 7 as well. The 2-1 pitch. Curveball up above the head of Kilgore, 3-1.
Don't want to give Kilgore anything too easy here on 3-1. He does have home run power. 14 extra base hits in total so far this year. Wallace has got to be careful with him.
11 doubles on the year for Will Kilgore. That's top 5 in the Great Lakes League. He bats from the right side. The 3-1 pitch. Fastball misses away. Ball 4. A 2-out walk for Will Kilgore. And that'll bring up Jack Berry.
And Barry, of course, the guy who broke Zach Wallace's no-hitter back 1 inning ago. Scouts still with nothing going in the bullpen. It's going to be Wallace's out to make here.
Jack Berry 1 for 2, a single back in the 5th. Like Andrew mentioned, Zach Wallace, no hits allowed through 4. Berry led off the 5th with the single to center field. The pitch. Curveball misses low, 1-0. And now these Lima Locos hitters waiting back and not really chasing that curveball low in the turf like they were in the first 3 innings.
Well, that's what Bubba Cates said the other day. You gotta, as a hitter, you gotta make adjustments from at bat to at bat because the pitcher is not gonna make adjustments while he's out there on the mound.
Wallace throws over to first. Kilgore gets back safely. And that's what these Locos hitters are doing. So the Locos, you know, everybody listens to Scouts manager Bubba Cates.
Oh, absolutely. He's a base of knowledge for this world.
Wallace sets, takes a look at the runner, the 1-0. Curveball fouled off behind the plate, 1-1. Jack Berry, the first baseman today for Lima. A 300 hitter on the year. 2 doubles, 3 home runs, 17 RBIs for Berry. Wallace throws over to first once again. Kilgore, not a big lead, gets back easily. We've seen Wallace pick off one batter today. Now the pitch. Fastball way inside. And a balk? I think they called a balk.
Interesting. And we've seen this happen before against Zach Wallace, but that is not a good thing that just happened. You move the runner into scoring position with the guy with the second most RBIs on the team at the plate, a guy who has already punished you before with a single to lead things off in the 5th. Another very tense moment here at Grady's Field here in the top of the 6th inning in a tie ball game.
1-1 tie between the Lima Locos and the Xenia Scouts. Top of the 6th. 2 down here for the Locos. Will Kilgore on second. Jack Berry at the plate. The 1-1 pitch. Curveball fouled off down the first baseline, 1-2.
Wallace is ahead now. Gotta get him here.
Jack Berry already 1 hit today. He has 4 multi-hit games in his last 6. He's been on fire as of late, hitting .381 in his last 7 games. Wallace sets. The 1-2 delivery. Fastball. Line drive, center field. Andina racing over, makes the grab. A good job by Francisco Andina to chase to his left and retire Jack Berry. So the walk and the balk do no harm for Zach Wallace. We head to the home half of the 6th. A 1-1 tie between the Lima Locos and the Xenia Scouts. You're listening to Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. To the bottom of the 6th we go here at Grady's Field. A 1-1 tie between the Lima Locos and the Xenia Scouts as we head to the home half of the 6th. Donald Ring, Jordan Lambert, and Chris Ackerman, the 4, 5, 6 hitters due up for the Scouts here in the 6th. Cole Baker still on the mound for the Locos. The first pitch to Ring. Curveball outside corner, strike 1. Ring 0 for 1 today with a walk. He walked his first time up in the 2nd inning, flew out to center his last time up. The pitch swung on and missed, a curveball. Strike 2. Ring a 246 hitter on the air, 5 doubles, and a homer. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball fouled off down the third baseline. We'll stay at 0-2. Ring, the catcher behind the plate tonight for the Scouts. Haven't seen him behind the plate a lot this year, but that is his main position. The 0-2. Low in the dirt, 1-2. Ring some forearm tightness in his right arm, his throwing arm, so mainly been in the DH role for the Scouts this year. Played some first base. Now the 1-2. Fastball, line drive, left field, right to the left fielder Hodges. 1 away here in the 6th. That had base hit written all over it. And instead, there's 1 down here in the 6th. And in steps Jordan Lambert, who's 1 for 2 today. He singled his last time up in the 4th inning. Led off the 4th, actually, with the single. Got stranded. Scouts couldn't bring him even in scoring position. The first pitch. Fastball, outside edge, strike 1. 1-1 tie between the Lima Locos, the league-leading Lima Locos, and the Scouts. The pitch, fastball, fly ball, left field. Hodges carrying over, makes the grab right near the line. 2 away. 2 straight balls hit out to left, and Hodges takes care of them both. 2 down here in the 6th for the Scouts. In steps Chris Ackerman to try to keep the inning alive. Ackerman bats from the right side. He's 1 for 2 today. A single his first time up in the 2nd inning. A strikeout his last time up in the 4th. The pitch. Fastball fouled off behind the plate. 0-1. Some around the league scores for you. The Jazz and the Copperheads played a doubleheader today. As the 0-1 pitch to Ackerman, way outside, 1-1. The Jazz took game number 1 from the Copperheads, 4-2. And in game number 2 right now, the Jazz lead 1-0 as Ackerman swings through a curveball down low, 1-2. Of course, the Richmond Jazz sit in 2nd place in the Southern Division. The Copperheads in 3rd. The Scouts in 4th. The 1-2 pitch. Curveball swung on and missed. Strike 3. The Scouts go down 1-2-3 once again. Cole Baker gets his 4th strikeout of the day. And we will head to the 7th all tied up at 1. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network.
Now batting, number 14, JT Thomas.
Inning number 7 of baseball here at Grady's Field in beautiful Xenia, Ohio. Andrew Alix here alongside Gabe Genovesi. A tie ball game, 1-1 here in the top of the 7th, and Zach Wallace heading out for his 7th inning of work. He will face JT Thomas, Ross Adolph, and Jackson Fagg for the Locos here. So Thomas to the plate. He's 0 for 2 on the day. First pitch. Fastball, hard to the plate, a called strike 1. JT Thomas, a strikeout his first time up, a ground out to third his second time up. A .219 hitter on the year. Thomas, the 0-1. Hit high in the air, deep to left, but not deep enough. Lambert's ranging. He calls for it, makes the grab. Out number 1. So the first out of the 7th inning there, made by Zach Wallace. Mark it down as an F7 in your book here in the 7th. And now Ross Adolph to step to the plate. Ross Adolph, one of the returning guys for this Lima Locos ball club. 1 for 4 so far for the Locos. That's including his 0 for 2 so far today. He bats from the left side here. First pitch, high and deep, right field. Going back is Dylan Lottenville. He's tracking, and he'll watch it fly. A solo home run for Ross Adolph gives the Lima Locos a 2-1 lead. He absolutely blasted first pitch over the right field wall, and just like that, Zach Wallace in line for what could possibly be a loss in what is his most impressive outing thus far. Some work in the bullpen already now for the Scouts. It's Jack Rains warming up for Xenia. Jackson Fagg going to come to the plate for the Lima Locos. Fagg is 1 for 2 on the day, an RBI single his last time up. He struck out his first time at the plate. He was the 4th strikeout victim of Zach Wallace. He bats from the left side here against the righty. First pitch upstairs and outside. 1 ball and no strikes here with 1 away in the top of the 6th. Now 2-1 the score in favor of the Lima Locos. And that one's hit hard right into the glove of Ange Bourgeois over at second. Mark that one down as an F4, and out number 2 here for Zach Wallace in the top of the 7th. A very hard hit ball by Jackson Fagg. But Bourgeois right there leaps a little bit. And that is out number 2. So 1 more out to make, and it is the other of the 2 Fagg brothers, Jed Fagg. Jed Fagg is 2 times to the plate. Has been hit by a pitch both times, and I look right now, and he most certainly has his hands over his. He hits one hard but foul into the Scouts bullpen on the left field side. And if you look at Jed Fagg's batting stance, his hands way over the plate, which is exactly what Zach Wallace was complaining about before. The 0-1 pitch now. And that one's hit hard in the air, right field side, not very deep. Lottenville comes under it. He'll make the grab. Out number 3. So 1 run on 1 hit. A solo home run off the bat of Ross Adolph. Give the Lima Locos a 2-1 lead in the top of the 7th. A close ball game still at 7th inning stretch time. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Go to the home half of the 7th. Joey Roddy steps in. The Scouts now trailing by a score of 2-1. Roddy on the day thus far. 0 for 2. He hits one right back at the pitcher. Underhand toss over to first. Mark that down as a 3-1. Out number 1 here in the home half of the 2nd. Or 7th, I should say. Ooh. I'm fumbling my words. So now with 1 away in the bottom of the 7th, it's going to be Dylan Lottenville to the plate. Lottenville, he's 0 for 2 on the day. A strikeout looking his first time up. He flew out to right his second time up. The Locos, they took a 2-1 lead off the bat of Ross Adolph, his solo home run to the right field side. The difference in this ball game. First pitch to Lottenville. He hits one high and deep center field. The center fielder going back, but he'll pull up at the track. And one grab for out number 2. Lottenville got a lot of that one, but just not deep enough, and his first home run of the year still eludes him. So now it's Ange Bourgeois to the plate with 2 down here in the home half of the 7th. Bourgeois 0 for 1 on the day. He walked his first time up. A ground out over to second. Back in the 5th, his second time up, the only official at-bat of the day for Ange Bourgeois. Bourgeois bats from the left side here against the righty. First pitch to Ange. He shows bunt, pulls back. Fastball high, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes, but 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Scouts trailing the Locos by a score of 2-1. The 1-0 pitch. And that one, a high chopper over towards first. The first baseman has it. Underhand tosses to the pitcher who covers the bag. Steps on first. Out number 3. So the Scouts go down in order in the bottom of the 7th. No runs on no hits. And nobody left aboard for Xenia. We've played 7 innings of baseball here at Grady's Field. The Scouts trail by just 1. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Welcome back to Grady's Field. The top of the 8th inning we go. A new pitcher in for the Scouts. It'll be Jack Rains. Jack Rains from Baldwin Wallace University. And Gabe, what do we have on Jack Rains?
A 2.73 ERA for Rains, 26 and a third innings pitched, only 8 earned runs given up. He has given up 25 hits, so just under a hit an inning. 6 walks for Rains, 27 strikeouts. He's 1-0 in his 7 appearances. Easily the second or third best reliever the Scouts have in the bullpen, along with Caden Owens and Landon Williams.
It's tough to decipher who the first, second, and third best relievers are in this Scouts bullpen, but those 3 relievers might be the 3 most talented pitchers on the entire staff. But all the kudos in the world to our starting pitcher this evening, Zach Wallace. 7 innings of 2-run baseball. He allowed 3 hits, striking out 7, walking just 1. So now it'll be the lefty Jack Rains who will be tasked to keep this a 1-run ball game and give the Scouts an opportunity to come back in the bottom of the 8th and the bottom of the 9th. It'll be Josh DeBecker to the plate. First pitch from Rains. That one a curveball low. 1 ball and no strikes to Josh DeBecker. DeBecker, a .333 hitter on the year. 4 doubles, a triple, and 13 RBIs for the Wichita State right fielder. He bats from the left side here against the southpaw Jack Rains. The pitch. And that one is lined hard into the glove of Aaron Takas, who takes a couple of steps towards the second base bag and make the grab, out number 1.
And Jack Rains caught a break there. Aaron Takas in the right position. If Takas isn't there, that ball's hooking toward left center field. That's a double in the gap for DeBacker. And with the leadoff, with the top of the order coming up for the Locos, leadoff batter Tyler Tolbert, Rains would have been in some trouble.
Tyler Tolbert to the plate. He's 0 for 3 on the day, a 19-game hit streak. Could come to an end if he does not get a hit here. The .386 hitter takes first pitch curveball from Jack Rains. No balls and 1 strike with 1 away here in the top of the 8th. The Scouts trailed the Lima Locos by a score of 2-1. The Scouts are playing Licking County Settlers right now, but not doing a bad job with the Locos so far. The 0-1 pitch, fastball, hit foul down the first base line. That one had a chance, but ultimately lands in foul territory, and Jack Rains ahead in this count, 0-2. Tolbert, like I said, .386 hitter on the year. The shortstop from the University of Alabama at Birmingham. He bats from the right side here against the lefty Jack Rains. The 0-2 pitch, curveball off the plate, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tolbert, a .462 on base percentage. So 1-2 now the count. Rains looks to the catcher, Donald Ring. He delivers the 1-2 pitch, and that one is hit on the ground, up the middle, base hit. Tyler Tolbert, the hit streak continues. He is now hit in 20 consecutive games for the Lima Locos. And, Gabe, they always say that past performance isn't necessarily indicative of future results. In the case of Tyler Tolbert, past performance is almost always indicative of future results. So 20 hits, 20 games in a row with a hit. He now stands on first with 1 away for Garrett Hodges. Hodges also 0 for 3 on the day, a .324 hitter on the year, a team-high 24 RBIs. First pitch curveball, that one they will say just upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes to Garrett Hodges.
I'm a little confused on where that one missed. A good pitch by Rains. Tyler Tolbert, talk about speed, 16 for 18 and stolen bases on the year. It helps that Rains is a lefty.
The 1-0, or check that, pickoff attempt over to first. Garrett Hodges with Division I Kennesaw State, a .321 hitter this past spring. That's 27 hits and 84 at-bats. He had 16 RBIs. His .548 slugging percentage, third on his Kennesaw State ball club. The pitch, and that one, a high blooper third base. Joey Roddy ranges over and makes the grab for out number 2.
That's a big out for Jack Rains. 2 down now. Tyler Tolbert not in scoring position yet. You got to get Will Kilgore, who doesn't have a hit today.
Yeah, that one just a flare over towards third, and Roddy had it all the way, but speed on the base pass and Tyler Tolbert. And now Will Kilgore now to the plate, like Gabe said. 286 hitter on the year. He's 11 doubles, the most on the Lima Locos club. Pickoff attempt over to first, not in time. Kilgore from Georgia State has 4 multi-hit games. In the past week coming into this game, Kilgore was 6 for 18. That's a .333 average over that period of time. He hits from the right side here against the southpaw Jack Rains. The pitch and the runner goes. They throw over to first. The throw back to second will not get there in time. Oh, and that is a tough play. The runner, Tolbert, goes. Jack Rains throws over to first, and just no one was there to cover the bag at second. And Tolbert just slid in safely. Gabe, you have any idea why that might have happened?
Well, I'm going to say even if Aaron Takis was there, Tolbert would have been safe. Takis got there, applied the tag. If he was already there, it would have been a closer play, obviously. He would have been ready to slap down that tag. But
well, don't you got to go to second
then?
Like,
if you're Rains, throw to second, I think his momentum was already just too far over to first.
So there's just nothing you can do about it.
He threw it over there. But the speed from Tolbert there,
tremendous. First pitch on the outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
You talk about speed and you talk about quickness. So I don't know if Tolbert's going to be technically the fastest guy we've seen, but that was the quickest sprint to second base I've seen all year.
And we have seen dudes with 4.38 40 times. So that is some high praise. The 1-0 pitch. Curveball swung on and missed there. He was the count up a ball and a strike.
And now, easily the biggest at-bat of the game for the Scouts and Jack Rains, of course, this being his first inning of work, because any base hit's going to score Tolbert.
Well, yeah, now that we know the speed that he has, especially with 2 away, going on anything hit, no matter what. 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 away. The runner at second is Tyler Tolbert. Top of the 8th here, the Scouts trying to hold on to just a 1-run deficit. Curveball that time finds the zone, taken all the way by Kilgore. Jack Rains now ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Will Kilgore from Georgia State University, a Division I guy. A lot of Division I guys on this Lima Locos ball club. A lot of quality Division I programs at that. Tolbert leads from second now. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 away. Rains looks to Donald Ring as time is called there. Kilgore not liking the amount of time that Jack Rains was taking out there on the mound. Kilgore from the right side against the southpaw Rains. The 1-2 pitch. Curveball off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Good pitch from Rains. Almost got Kilgore to chase. That ball, of course, breaks back over the outside corner, and it just missed. Kilgore, of course, knowing that, almost went around.
2-2 now the count. Kilgore, like we said, 11 doubles so far this year, 16 runs batted in. Number 17 with a lot of speed stands over at second here with 2 away. The 2-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? They'll say that he did. A drop third strike, but Donald Ring lays down the tag. Will Kilgore goes down swinging. The first strikeout of the day for Jack Rains. The 7th overall for Xenia Scouts pitching. And Xenia will get out of the 8th inning unscathed. No runs on 1 hit and 1 man left aboard. We're in the middle of the 8th inning. The Scouts trail the Lima Locos by a score of 2-1. A tight ball game here at Grady's Field. You don't want to miss the rest of the action. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. A new pitcher into the ballgame for the Lima Locos. It is Joe Gum. Joe Gum, 24 2/3 innings pitched, a 2.1 ERA. He has struck out 29, walking just 3 over that period of time. A 0.7 whip, a 221 batting average against. Joe Gum from Auburn University, a school that you might recognize the name of. Big-time SEC program. He throws from the right side here. First batter, Francisco Andina, takes fastball on the outside part of the plate. A called strike one. It's going to be Andina, Takis, and Kyle Casserly due up here for the Scouts in the home half of the 8th. They trail the Lima Locos by a score of 2-1. The 0-1 to Andina. And that one fastball outside part of the plate taken yet again. 0-2 to Francisco Andina. Andina is 1 for 3 on the evening. A single back in the 3rd. Since then, a ground out and a fly out. The 0-2. That time off the plate, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Francisco Andina.
And Gomez hit his spots on all 3 pitches. That pitch was supposed to be about 5-6 inches off the plate, and he hit it. It was supposed to be a ball on 0-2, of course. Andina didn't chase.
The 1-2 pitch coming down. Andina hits that one in the air, center field, not very deep. The center fielder, Ross Adolph, makes the grab one away.
And the Scouts are going to have their work cut out for them. You heard all the numbers Andrew mentioned. Down by a run here in the bottom of the 8th, running out of outs.
Quite frankly, the numbers were never in the Scouts' favor to begin with. The Lima Locos with the better batting average as a team, the better on-base percentage as a team. They've scored more than 40 more runs than Xenia. And Aaron Takis awaits first pitch here. Fouled straight back, no balls and 1 strike with 1 away.
And the Scouts have seen mainly fastballs, actually all fastballs from Gom on the mound. So we don't know how his curveball or any off looks, but if you're the Scout, you got to jump on that fastball.
Takis takes curveball straight down the plate. Nothing in 2 now the count, and the Scouts have now watched 4 straight pitches.
Yeah, and there's that curveball. That was a pretty filthy pitch. Dropped right in at the knees.
So 0-2 now the count. To Aaron Takis, 1 away here in the home half of the 8th. Scouts need just 1 to tie the ball game up. Pitch. That one low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes down to Aaron Takis. Takis has had a good day so far. 2 for 3. 2 for 3. The only out he made was a strikeout that came by way of in foul ground. The 1-2 pitch. Takis fouls that one out of play. We will stay at 1-2.
And I hate to play the what-if game, but if you go back to that 3rd inning, that's when the Scouts had runners on 1st and 2nd with nobody down. If Takis can get that bunt down, they're 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. Who knows what happens?
Takis watches on the inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes now.
And actually, if the inning were to play out like it did, except Takis gets the bunt down, Casserly grounded out to 1st, and the infield wasn't in. So that would have scored a run in the 3rd. Unfortunately, well, we know that didn't happen.
Indeed. The 2-2 pitch now to Aaron Takis. Off the plate, the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Takis doing a great job at not chasing the outside pitch. It's very easy to chase that outside fastball, especially when the outside corner's been being called all night long.
Takis awaits the 3-2 pitch. Here it is, and that one is hit on the ground towards second base. The second baseman, Kilgore, backhands, throws over to first in time. The first baseman, Jack Barry, had to extend every single bit of what is his listed as 6'5" frame. But Aaron Takis could not beat it out, mark that one down as a 4-3, and give credit where credit is due. A good defensive play there by the second baseman, Kilgore, and the first baseman, Jack Barry.
A heck of a play by Kilgore. I thought that ball was getting up the middle. He ranged to his right very quickly.
First pitch to Casserly. That one's hit in the air, right field. It's going to drop in front of the right fielder. A base hit, a broken bat. Single off the bat of Kyle Casserly, his first hit of the day, and the Scouts with a 2-out runner aboard here in the home half of the 8th.
And that's what I was gonna say. If that bat doesn't break, it's very tough to tell if there would have been more power on that ball and it would have got over his head, or if it just would have landed straight in the mitt of the right fielder to backer. So we'll take the hit and we'll see if Ring can keep the inning alive.
Well, let's see if the Scouts have a little 2-out magic in them here in the home half. Donald Ring to the plate. Ring 0 for 2 on the day. He bats from the left side here against the righty. First pitch to Ring. That one is hit high in the air, foul territory, left field side. Ring had the pitch that he wanted there and just missed, Gabe.
Inside fastball. That's it. The one good thing, the only good thing about obviously losing in this ball game is only being down one. One swing of the bat can get you back in it, and Ring down that right field line definitely has the possibility.
The pitch, and that one hit on the ground, foul territory, first base side. Ring behind in the count, 0-2. And you talk about how one home run, or a home run here, one swing of the bat, could give the Scouts the lead. Well, Ring's done it before. 17 home runs with the Hillsdale Chargers this past spring. A school record earned him a spot as a Division II All-American. The 0-2 pitch to Ring, swing and a miss, drop, third strike. The catcher has it, throw over to first in time. That'll do it for the Scouts in the home half of the eighth. So the Scouts get a man aboard with 2 outs, but they can't do much with him. No runs on 1 hit and 1 man left. We go into the 9th inning of baseball, a nail-biter here at Grady's Field. And you don't want to miss the finale of what has been a heck of a game of baseball thus far. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go into the top of the 9th. The Lima Locos with a 1-run lead over the Xenia Scouts here as we head into the final inning of play. Jack Rains out for his 2nd inning of work. He will face the 4, 5, and 6 spots in this very dangerous Lima Locos order. Jack Berry to start things off. Berry 1 for 3 on the day. First pitch curveball hit hard down the third base line, but foul. 0-1 to Jack Berry. Berry from the University of Northwest Ohio, a 300 hitter with 17 RBIs coming into the ball game. 17 RBIs, second best on his ball club. Berry, the Australian. Don't see that every day out here in Southwest Ohio. Curveball fouled straight back into the plate by Berry. 0-2 goes the count. So you got a 300 hitter in Jack Berry. You have a All-American honorable mention on deck in JT Thomas. And a guy who's already hit a home run today in Ross Adolph, due up in the inning. A test if there ever was one for Jack Rains. The 0-2 pitch. Curveball upstairs and outside, 1-2.
A test he's going to have to pass if the Scouts want a chance in the bottom of the ninth, because a 2-run lead feels devastating in this ball game. The Scouts only 6 hits.
The 1-2 pitch coming now. Raines delivers. Curveball hit in the air. Foul ball out of play. Right field side will stay at 1-2. Jack Berry, like I said, the native of Kalgoorlie, Western Australia. I think that's probably better suited if you say it like Kalgoorlie or something like that. Kalgoorlie. The ball and 2 strikes still here. Raines, he delivers. Curveball swing and a miss. Strike 3. Jack Raines, his second punch out of the day. The first out here in the top of the ninth. 1 up, 1 down is going to bring J.T. Thomas to the plate. J.T. Thomas 0 for 3 so far today. A strikeout, a ground out, and a fly out. He's getting out in all kinds of ways so far. And for Thomas, a guy who hit .357 with 20 doubles, 12 home runs, and 62 RBIs with the Division I Mercer Bears as he awaits first pitch and lines that one hard into left field. That one will drop a base hit. So J.T. Thomas singles. And the Locos with a man aboard here in the top of the ninth.
And Thomas waited back on an off-speed pitch and roped it out to left. Did exactly what he wanted to do there. And now the man who's responsible for this Locos lead up to the plate.
Ross Adolph. Yes, it is. It's Ross Adolph. He was 1 for 3 on the day, was 0 for 2 going into his third at-bat when he launched a solo home run in the 7th inning. That is the difference in this ball game. So first pitch here, 1 on and 1 out in the top of the ninth. Raines delivers. That one curveball low and away. 1 ball and no strikes to Ross Adolph. Adolph, like Gabe said earlier in the game, the Toledo Rocket. Division I program, of course, in the Mid-American Conference. 1 for 5 on the season so far. 2 for 5, I should say. Curveball fouled straight back. 1 ball, 1 strike. He played in all 58 games for Toledo. Was a .272 hitter, 13 doubles, 6 triples, 7 home runs, 30 RBIs. He bats there from the left side against the southpaw Jack Raines. Joey Roddy playing a little bit in at third. Outfield at regular depth all around. Pickoff attempt over to first. Not going to get there in time. A scoring summary for you. The Scouts on the board first. As Donald Ring scored on a wild pitch back in the bottom of the 2nd inning. The Locos struck back in the 5th. With an RBI single off of Jackson, or from Jackson Fagg off of Zach Wallace. And then the Ross Adolph home run. Curveball in there. 1 ball, 2 strikes, now the count.
Great curveball from Raines.
That was one of the best we've seen so far.
Buckled Adolph at the knees.
So 1-2 now the count. Adolph. From the left side against the southpaw Raines. The pitch. Curveball. In there for a called strike 3. Ross Adolph goes down looking. The 3rd punch out of the evening for Jack Raines, and out number 2. A big one here in this airtight ball game in the top of the 9th inning. So 1 more out to go. If you're Jack Raines, and he's going to hope it's Jackson Fagg. Fagg to the plate now. 1 for 3 on the day. His only hit an RBI single that tied this game earlier. First pitch curveball from Raines finds the zone. 0-1 goes the count. The man at first is Jack Berry. 2 away here in the top of the 9th. 2-1. The score in favor of the Lima Locos. The 0-1 pitch. Hit hard but foul. Left field side into the Scouts bullpen. 0-2 goes the count.
And Raines went fastball there. He's been throwing a lot of off speed here in the 9th inning. Wonder if he goes back to it after Fagg drills that fastball.
So no balls, 2 strikes, but 2 away here in the top of the 9th. Jack Raines looks to Donald Ring. He delivers the 0-2 pitch. And that one hit on the ground over towards short. Ange Bourgeois fields it cleanly, throws over to first in time. Out number 3. So the Locos muster one hit in the top of the ninth, but they'll do nothing with him. We go into the bottom of the ninth with the Scouts trailing by 1. Their last chance to either extend this ball game or to win it. You don't want to miss the end of this game, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network.
Boys, come on.
Now batting for your Xenia Scouts, the left fielder, Jordan Lambert.
We go into the bottom of the ninth inning. 2-1 the score in favor of the Lima Locos. The Scouts have one more chance here, and they'll send Jordan Lambert, Chris Ackerman, and Joey Roddy to the plate to try to get 1 run, maybe 2. Keep this game going or pitch to Jordan Lambert off the plate. 1 ball and no strikes to Jordan Lambert. Lambert on the day, 1 for 3, a single back in the 4th. His hit so far this ball game. 1-0 pitch. Lambert hits that one in the air. Center field, not very deep. The center fielder, Ross Adolph, comes in. He'll make the grab. 1 away.
And you knew Lambert was going to jump on the first fastball he got over the plate. Unfortunately, he just didn't get all of it. I was hoping it would be shallow enough to bloop right in front of Adolph in center. Unfortunately, that ball carried just enough for Ross Adolph in center field.
So now it's Chris Ackerman to the plate. First pitch to Ackerman. Fastball up and in. 1 ball, no strikes to Chris Ackerman. Ackerman, a .233 hitter. He's 1 for 3 on the day. His 2 home runs. The leader on the Scouts. He takes a big hack at the 1-0 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike to Chris Ackerman.
And at least the second home run, the last home run for Matt, that was almost the exact pitch, an inside pitch that he just took over the left field wall.
Ackerman swings and misses there. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Joey Roddy awaits on deck. If Ackerman can't get aboard here, he will represent the last and best hope these Xenia Scouts have. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Chris Ackerman. Gom delivers. Off the plate, 2 balls, 2 strikes. A 2-1 ball game with 1 out here in the bottom of the ninth. The Scouts with nobody aboard. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. The second strike of the game for Gom. The second out here in the bottom of the ninth, and Joey Roddy needs to get aboard to keep this game alive.
Ackerman chased 2 pitch low and away that time. He was able to lay off the 1, but Gom's smart, just going right back to that same spot.
First pitch to Joey Roddy. Upstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. Joey Roddy's 0 for 30 on the day. He played the hero yesterday as the Scouts mounted a late inning comeback. 1-0. That one on the inside yet again. 2 balls and no strikes to Joey Roddy. Roddy had 3 RBIs in last night's contest. His only extra base hit of the year so far, a double. Roddy swings and hits one deep into left field, going back the center fielder, but he'll make the grab at the wall. And that's going to be all she wrote here tonight. The final score, the Lima Locos 2, the Xenia Scouts 1. The Locos with 2 runs on 5 hits and no errors. The Scouts with 1 run on 6 hits, no errors as well. The Scouts fall to 14 and 15 on the year. The Locos, well, they move to 24 and 6. And seeing this ball club out there tonight, you can see why. Gabe, what are your final thoughts on this contest?
This one stings for me because coming into this one, just being realistic, a 23-6 ball game, a 23-6 ball club, the Scouts at 14 and 14. We've seen the Locos just absolutely handle this whole league. The hopes for, I'm not saying the team's hopes were low, but you just look at it on paper, and the Locos are a much better ball club. So to come out here and to jump early, get an early lead 1-0. Zach Wallace has a no-hitter through 4 innings. He only gives up 1 in the 5th, and then 1 swing of the bat from Ross Adolph really did it. It's a shame Zach Wallace couldn't get a win tonight. 7 innings pitched, only 3 hits given up, 2 earned runs, only 1 walk, 6 strikeouts for Wallace, and it all comes back to the bats. Only 6 hits for the Scouts tonight. You mentioned some of the numbers. The Scouts are last in batting average in the league. They're in the bottom 3 in on-base percentage in the league. We are last in runs in the league. And when your offense just can't get going consistently, you're not going to win ball games. And to put it very simply, you need runs to win a baseball game. And the Scouts just haven't got them as of late. And to have that kind of pitching performance from Zach Wallace and then Jack Raines, who pitched 2 innings of scoreless baseball. He struck out 3 as well, didn't walk anybody. It really stings to lose this one, especially not to look at all the other scores around the league and think about the what-ifs, but with the Copperheads losing game 1 of the doubleheader, the Copperheads are now beating the Jazz in game 2, so they each would have lost a game today. The Jazz in second, the Copperheads in third. The Scouts would have gained ground on both of them, and with the loss today, they lose ground.
Well, that's exactly right, Gabe. And a disservice in a lot of ways to 2 guys in Zach Wallace and Jack Raines that really deserved some positive statistics. A win, more specifically for Wallace, a save for Raines would have been nice as well. And we talk about what Wallace did. Wallace, 7 innings pitched. He allowed just 3 hits. He allowed 2 runs on those 3 hits, unfortunately. The stinger being the Ross Adolph solo home run. Really the only notable blip on the map for the righty Zach Wallace, who we've seen him struggle at times this year. And, like Gabe said, not to separate the team's mentality from our mentality, because we're just the nerdy guys who look at stats, who watch every game and analyze it as close as we can. This did not seem like a favorable matchup. Zach Wallace's batting average against numbers, with the high batting average, the fact that the Locos are the league leader in home runs with now 23. It didn't seem like, it was, the betting odds were in favor of the Scouts, but Zach Wallace went out there and he absolutely battled all night long. He should be very proud of the performance that he put on tonight. And Jack Raines coming in a tight spot. Also, some great work out of the bullpen.
This was Zach Wallace's best performance by far this year. Not even close. And he takes the L on the stat sheet. And, that's just how baseball works sometimes. Who knows? Wallace's next outing, he could give up 6 runs in 4 innings and get a win because we actually give him some run support. But that's just how baseball works. And the Scouts take a tough loss here today when you really could have gained ground on the 2 opponents ahead of you in the division.
Well, I'll tell you, Gabe, and it's kind of the same old story, same old song and dance that we saw with last year's ball club in Lima. A 3-1 loss we played them twice. It was 3-1 and 1-0.
Yep.
Were the 2 scores of that game. And they were a pitching strong ball club, and unfortunately, if you're the Scouts, if you can't put up runs in the early going when, Baker, Cole Baker, I should say, was struggling at times. He was struggling at times, and the Scouts had runners in scoring position, and they left them there. And when you do that against a team like the Lima Locos, who can whip out a righty who's throwing probably
close to 90,
close to the high 80s, low 90s, I would say, who's punching out, 29 guys in 23 innings or whatever it may be from Auburn, a big-time Division I program, that's how the Locos set themselves up to win 24 of their, first 30 games. But you got to execute earlier in the game, and ultimately that shortcoming cost Xenia the game.
The Scouts had one hit in each of the first 5 innings, and my key word there is one. Like you mentioned, runners in scoring position in the 3rd inning for Xenia, in the 2nd inning for Xenia, when they actually did score the run, but they left Ackerman stranded at 3rd. The Scouts left 5 runners on base in innings 2 through 5, and, you just can't do it.
Well, not to get too negative on y'all, but the good news, as is always the good news in baseball, we will get them tomorrow. As they say, the Scouts and the Lima Locos will be back in action here at Grady's Field yet again, a 4:05 Eastern Standard Time start between the Scouts and the Locos. So come out to Grady Field, and if you can't make it, join us here, as always, on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We'd love to have you guys aboard. So the Scouts, the winning pitcher will be Cole Baker. The losing pitcher, unfortunately, Zach Wallace. Will they give a save to Hom?
Yes,
to
Gum.
Yes, to Gum. That's what I meant. Gum gets the save. The Scouts, like we said, 14-15 on the year. They are now 3 games back.
3.5.
3.5 games back out of first place. 2.5 games behind now the Richmond Jazz.
And so if we want to, the Steam will probably just trying to predict the future and seeing how things look with the schedules and the Steam opponents. I wouldn't be surprised if they run away with the division, but you just need 2nd place for a playoff spot. So don't worry about the 3.5 back, 2.5 back of the Jazz for a playoff spot. And you're still behind the Copperheads, who are in 3rd. But the Copperheads come here for a 3-game series next week, and the Jazz come here for a 2-game series.
Yeah, the good news is that you do have somewhat of an ability to control your own destiny. All of our divisional opponents we will play at least 2 more times. Like Gabe said, in the case of the Southern Ohio Copperheads, we will play them 3 times. So a lot of exciting baseball to come. So we don't want to get too negative on y'all. The Scouts dropped this one, but another chance tomorrow, and we hope to have you here with us. I am Andrew Alix. He is Genovesi, Gabe Genovesi. For us and the entire Xenia Scouts family, we thank you for joining us tonight. We wish you a good night. God bless, and we'll see you tomorrow.